Miami Heat needs some help. Like, this isn't a bad team. This isn't a bad team. But it's I don't want to sound like a broken record because if you're a Heat fan, you've heard this all season. The biggest problem with the Miami Heat is they were unable to replace PJ Tucker. Guys, yes, that's a big part of that, but that's just being vague. They just need, you know, a couple, like one or two more rotational players, or really just one rotational player. And this is a team that I think if you just look at it, they they've got the constructs of what you want, okay? Like if you look at the current roster, that's why we're hearing right now that the guys that I recently made a video about Nerlens Noel, they're interested in him. They're also interested in Naz Reid, who is available because he's not going to sign a contract extension. Kelly Olynyk has another year in his deal, and also Jakob Poeltl. They've said it; they need front court help, and that's very true because they don't have a power forward. This is a team that Jimmy Butler is awesome, Bam Adebayo is awesome. Kyle Lowry, he gets the job done. I'm not saying he's perfect. Obviously, Kyle Lowry a few years ago would have been better, but he gets the job done. There's Duncan Robinson, which if somebody could, if they could trade Duncan Robinson for somebody, they would have already. Victor Oladipo, he's been solid coming back. Caleb Martin's been awesome. Tyler Hero, I know Nikola Jovic is hurt. Max Strus is solid. Gabe Vincent is solid. But then you get to the rest of the roster, and you think, okay, you could potentially trade, Irmer Yurtseven and Haywood Highsmith and Dwayne Dedman, which is technically $8.2 million. Now you look at Kelly Olynyk. You would have to trade, if you wanted to get Kelly, I don't know if you look at this. So let me just report right here what David Ackerman of Heat Nation wrote. As you guys know, the Heat are playing well, okay, but the Heat are playing well, okay, and they need help in the sense to be a championship team. And for us, when you look at a guy like Kelly Olynyk, Naz Reid, and Jakob Poeltl, who, according to recent reports from Ethan Skolnick and Greg Sylvander of 5 Reasons Sports Network, that they're talking about, you know, obviously Jovic is good, but there's talks that supposedly the 24 and 20 Heat, who are in the 7th place Eastern Conference, won 7 of their last 10. They need some front court help, and Martin's awesome, but a little bit more. Naz Reid, obviously they could extend him if they trade for him. He's averaging, I love him. You guys know I'm a Timberwolves fan. 10.6 points, 5 rebounds tonight, and 17.8. And he can score the ball in plenty of ways. He went to LSU, and he's an all right defender. He can guard forwards and centers. He's not going to be like an elite rim protector. But if you go over the Timberwolves and you just think real quickly, how would you get this deal done? So Naz Reid's only making 1.9, so Naz Reid might be the easiest guy to get because you could really just look at this and be like, okay, we'll send you Haywood Highsmith, okay? And if you did that deal works out. Naz Reid for Haywood Highsmith, and you could attach second round picks. I don't think the T Wolves would want a first round pick. Maybe they ask you for a heavily protected first round pick. But the best deal right here is Naz Reid for Haywood Highsmith and a couple picks because the T Wolves need more wing defenders. And I'm a Timberwolves fan, so I would take Haywood Highsmith and a couple second round picks. I would try to get a first round pick, but I don't know if the Heat would give us that. So I'd be cool with like 4 second round picks. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts on that one. That's probably one of the more realistic trades right there. Now, if you go over the Jazz would be a little harder to get Kelly Olynyk, who's $12.8 million. And when you think of that, oh, how would you do that? I mean, if you can convince them to take Duncan Robinson in a first round pick for Kelly Olynyk, who actually was on the Heat from 2017 to 2021. Okay, this year's averaging 12.5 points, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, while shooting 50% from the field and 41% from three. And he's going to be a guy who brings solid shooting and playmaking and a little bit of rebounding. He's not a great defender, but he'll be able to, especially with the Heat. Okay, but he's going to be a bit harder because you're probably going to have to trade Victor Oladipo with, you could probably get away Victor Oladipo and Haywood Highsmith if we're going to be honest, if you did that deal. But I wouldn't want to do that deal because I think, Vic is pretty good for them. So if you look at it right here, yeah, that deal doesn't even work. Wait, that deal does work. That deal does work. So you could do Kelly Olynyk for Haywood Highsmith and Victor Oladipo. I just, I just don't like it. What are your guys' thoughts here? Let me know. By the way, Jakob Poeltl, I just don't see them getting Jakob Poeltl. That's why I really didn't talk about him, because it's just, guys, Jakob Poeltl, they want 2 first-round picks. I don't even know if the Heat have that to begin with. So for me, I don't even know if it's worth even entertaining the idea of them getting him, because I seriously doubt them being able to get him. So I don't know. That's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. And yeah, that's where the video now ends, because there's really nothing else to talk about right there. So peace out. Bye.